there's actually a very vast teaching, which I won't go into all of it here. It's the stuff books are written about, of the subtle body. Because that which reincarnates is not only soul. So soul is perfect. Soul is not developing. Soul is not learning. Soul is, period. Soul is. Along with the soul, as we incarnate from body to body, physical body to physical body, what goes along with the soul are other aspects. Man, ahankar, the ego, the mind. Not the accumulation of knowledge. So it's not if I learn calculus in this life, I'll never have to do it again. But the impressions on the mind. When we talk about sanskaras, those are things that stay with us. The ego. This is why it's so important to work with the ego. Not just so that it will leave you in peace this life, but because if you don't, you're going to deal with it in next life. So you might as well. I mean, it's sort of one of those things, you might as well deal with it now because it's going to be there till you do. So actually when we pass on from body to body, along with the soul, the mind and the ego is going. And that's what is learning. That's what is working out the stuff that it still has to work out. You know, they talk sometimes, and there's, I think it's in Autobiography of a Yogi, the story of the guru, the sage, and I can't remember now who it was, but the impression is in my mind very deeply, who had had a desire, one specific desire left for a specific type of experience. And so even though he was basically almost enlightened and done in his past birth, took birth again just in order to work out that one desire. Well, that's not a desire of the soul. The soul doesn't have desires. That's a desire of the mind. That's what gets worked out. So the karma, and that's why, again, in the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna's talking about karma, because we have to keep coming back to work out our karma. Well, the good and the bad, they don't cancel each other out. It's not, when we talk about a bank account, but it's not really like a bank account. In a bank account, if I take out $5 and put in $5, I'm even. Not so with karma. If I accrue 5 karmic dollars worth of negative karma and 5 karmic dollars worth of positive karma, they don't actually cancel each other out. I actually have to get the karmic fruit of both. Now, the negative karmic fruit will feel bitter to me. The positive karmic fruit will feel pleasant to me. But I actually have to work both of them out. They don't cancel each other out. And this is why he speaks about good karma as being a cage anyway. It's a golden cage, but it's still a cage. Because even if you spend your life accumulating lots of good karma, well, you've still got to come back to work that out. And that's when Arjuna asks, well, so then what to do? Let's just not act. Then I won't act. I won't do anything because I don't want to accumulate more karma. And Lord Krishna says, too bad, because you can't help but act. You can sit on your hands, you can close your ears, you cannot do anything, but you're still acting. Mind is acting. And there's acts of omission. If it is my duty to do something and I don't do it, well, that's action. There is karma I accrue for inaction. If I can do something and I don't, I'm getting the karma for that. So then Arjuna says, well, then there's no way out. And Lord Krishna says, the only way out is surrender whatever you do to me. Well, that's an action. In order to surrender, if I'm going to surrender what I do to God, well, my soul isn't doing that. My soul is God. My soul is one with God. It's my mind that does that. It's my ego that does that. That's something my mind and ego works out. To surrender to God. So when I do that, that's when they talk about the purification of the mind, the purification of the ego. Well, it comes through that surrender. The core of who we are is already pure. We've been created by the divine. There's no purification of the soul needed. The soul is pure. That's unequivocally given to us in every single scripture. I'm not coming back because my soul is impure. I'm coming back because of this mind-ego thing that keeps me from living as the pure soul. And this is why, until you learn it, you're going to keep having that same situation over and over again. And this is why frequently, questions will come up about the sort of why do bad things happen to good people question. This person is so good, why did they lose all their money in the stock market crash? This person is so good, why did they die so young of a heart attack? Or why did their child get run over by a car? I mean, these sorts of questions are very natural and come up a lot. And the discussion of karma is the answer to that, which is these are not rewards and punishments. The universe isn't interested in rewarding us or punishing us. The universe is interested in us waking up and actually clearing away the mind and the ego from us. And so what we get, in addition to being fruit of seeds we've sown, is that which we need to take our next step. And sometimes my next step is going to be taken in loss. Sometimes your next step is going to be taken in illness or in failure. Because what matters to the universe is clear the stuff, take your steps, learn your lessons, wake up. And there's nothing like loss and failure and sickness to help us wake up. And so when we look at those things, we realize, well, it's not a matter of you've done something bad, so this is why this has happened. It's a matter of this is the most conducive situation. This is what you needed in order to take your next step. Yeah. So that's why we keep coming back. So we work to purify the mind, to purify the ego. This is Puja Swamiji was just talking today or yesterday about seva as, I think it was today, about seva as that which purifies our mind and heart. Well, why do we need our mind, heart, ego purified? Because that is what keeps us in this cycle. Soul is pure. And so the sadhana that we do is to purify the mind and the ego. The seva we do, purify the mind and ego. That's the goal. So that I can live as the pure soul. And then if I want to come back, by choice I come back. That's what the saints do. They come back to help the rest of us. But they come back free. That's the jiva mukti that we talk about. Free while in the body. It's not the freedom after death, it's the freedom while living. And that's possible because it's not the physical body that's the chain. It's the mind and the ego that's the chain. We think it's the physical body, that if I just, when I leave the physical body, I will attain moksha. Nope. You'll attain another physical body. Unless you've done the work to purify the mind and the ego. And then you'll have moksha even in your body.